What if the lights went out and never came back on? It started on a Tuesday with a pop and a sigh, as if the whole world exhaled at once. One moment, the city of Mumbai was a brilliant constellation of artificial stars. The next, it was swallowed by a profound, absolute blackness. Not a single light shone from a window, a car, or a phone screen. The hum of 1 billion appliances was replaced by a silence so deep it felt heavy. At first, in my apartment, we laughed. Another power cut, my roommate Rohan said, fumbling for a candle. But the candles ran out on the 3rd day. The phone networks died on the 5th, the last bars of signal blinking out like dying fireflies. By the 2nd week, the true nature of our new reality began to sink in. The city, once a monument to human ingenuity, became a concrete jungle in the most literal sense. The strong thrived, the clever adapted, the unprepared suffered. We became creatures of the sun, rising with its light and hiding at its departure. The night belonged to the whispers of the desperate and the cruel. My story begins a month after the going dark. We were hungry, surviving on canned beans and rainwater collected in buckets. We had to move. Rohan had heard of a sanctuary, a community that had formed at the old university campus. It was miles away, through the heart of the dark, silent city. "We have to try," he said, his face gaunt in the twilight, "or we'll just be waiting here to die." And so we ventured out. The streets were unrecognizable, littered with the skeletons of cars and a new kind of foliage, vines reclaiming metal and concrete. Our only weapons were a kitchen knife and a desperate hope. We navigated by the sun and the ghosts of landmarks we used to know. The silence was broken only by the scuttling of rats and the occasional distant scream that made our blood run cold. On the 3rd night of our journey, we took shelter in a broken-down shop. That's when we heard it. Not a scream. Music. Faint, hesitant, but unmistakable. The pluck of a single guitar string. Then a voice, soft and clear, singing an old Hindi song into the oppressive darkness. It was the most beautiful, most alien sound I had heard since the world ended. We followed it, drawn like moths to a flame that no longer existed. In the basement of a shattered apartment block, we found her, an old woman sitting on a crate, cradling a guitar like a baby. She didn't stop playing when she saw us. She just nodded as if she had been expecting us. "Sound is life," she said, her voice raspy. "In the silence, you forget you have a soul. The music reminds you." We stayed the night, safe in her bubble of courage and melody. The next morning, she gave us a small hand-drawn map. "Your university is closed," she said, "but be careful of the market square. The shadows there are not just shadows." We heeded her warning, taking a longer, harder route. When we finally climbed the last hill and saw the university gates, guarded by people with determined faces and makeshift spears, I felt something I thought was lost. Hope. But this is not a story with a simple happy ending. The sanctuary was real, but it was also a struggle. Every day was a battle for food, water, and safety. The darkness had not just taken our light. It had reshaped us. It had carved away our softness and exposed the raw, primal core of who we were. Some became monsters, ruling the dark with fear. Some, like the old musician, became beacons. And the rest of us, we were still finding out. The lights are gone, but the human spirit flickers on. It is a different, wilder, more fragile flame now, but it is still a flame. And in the endless night, even the smallest spark can be a miracle.